Good morning. Happiest of Fridays. Naomi Tucker here, joined by Keith Fustel on my left. Of course, gearing up for Maryland Million Day, but this Friday we have another storyline, a betting opportunity. The Stronach 5 with a huge carryover of nearly 77 grand. And how should we be playing this sequence, Keith?
Well, I tell you, we have a key scratch here. I think I know we're 7-5. The Robbie Bales horse, Outkissed, is out. Man, that thing, now that race really opens up. It's a spread race, so attacking it, I hope you've got a good bankroll. I was talking to Vinny Perone today about it. I think you're going to have to invest to get it. There's going to be a lot of money in this pot. I'm thinking close to $500,000, maybe a little bit more, but we've got a good little special for you.
We do indeed. $10 free bet towards that Stronach 5 wager, starting in race number 8. And Keith just highlighted that was a key scratch there. I think a lot of people would have liked to try and single on Outkissed, but won't be lining up today. So all of a sudden, that throws it wide open. And look, I hope we've reached $1 million. I know there's going to be a lot of people watching, tuning in, aside from the fact that we do have a first charity contest coming up as well. Right. Some of the races are in the same sequence, so I think everyone is going to be paying attention. Of course, tomorrow, Maryland Million Day, 11:30 a.m. post. Do have the opportunity still to book your seats in the Silks room. It's only $10 tickets. You have a nice air conditioning. You can get food as well. We got plenty of food offerings throughout the building. Just a wonderful day out, highlighting the Maryland bred and Maryland sired runners. And if you purchase a program, you can also get a hat giveaway. Who doesn't like a freebie with a hat? A nice memento from your day out at the races.
I'm telling you, the hat giveaways at the racetrack, in all my years, they're the most popular, and they're good advertising for the racetrack, right? Exactly. Everybody sports them around town. So yeah, looking forward to that. Bring back the hat.
I'm excited. I'm gonna go and purchase a program here and get myself a hat so I can be sporting it. When I work out and stuff, I like to wear a hat in the mornings as well. Why not promote Maryland Million Day? Now let's have a look at the track conditions. Look, the temperatures have dropped so slightly, but this is the kind of racing weather that most of the thoroughbreds will very much appreciate.
Yeah, we're a touchdown in temperature-wise today. It's a little chilly in the paddock. Man, how can we complain? 63 right now. Late October.
I'm not complaining. I'm not.
Man, oh man, and we're talking about air conditioning in the Silks room.
I don't think you need it,
well,
but
you might. It's amazing, how warm it's been. But I'll take this trend right now.
Yeah, fast and firm. You can see the rail out there for the turf races. Main track looking decent as well. Have we seen any plays? I do believe that the inside has been pretty okay, but it's been quite evenly playing.
Been okay, but you still need. The trend even yesterday on this dirt course, speed is kind of king. You've got to be within. It seems like 2 or 3 lengths turning for home if you're going to be a major player in the majority of these races.
Yeah, in general, when you look at dirt races, speed has always been quite favorable. It's not the easiest to come out of the clouds 10 lengths out of it. I think you want to be within 2-3 lengths when it comes to that final quarter. And I guess that's also my way of handicapping. So I think I've just given myself away there so slightly. But let's hope that we can pick a few winners here today. We'll start with race number 1. Early pick 5 kicks off right there as usual. We have 10 races coming your way. And Keith, we use a similar slew of horses in here. Nickel Claimers for the ladies, 5.5 furlongs sprinting on the main track. We'll start with your top selection, the number 5. There's Gold. 7-year-old mare comes in here after trying Timonium last time. Ran into a very tough and in-form Calypso Ghost.
I like her at 5.5. Now, she's liked this course in the past. Will she like the new surface today? We're going to find out. But a little trouble, Timonium against the key horse. Calypso Ghost has gotten back into pretty good form. I like her draw just out of Lady Magica. I think there's going to be speed from the inside from Our True Sensation. Family Fortune should tuck in and get a good trip, but I like her at 5.5. I think she's going to be good here. Maybe hounds the speed and can stay and go on here. This distance suits her perfectly. I see an improved effort from last.
Yeah, I use the number 3 Lady Magicia on top. She is getting back from her turf efforts to the main track. Of course, I'm hoping that she's going to replicate those figures. In the past, she's been okay on the dirt, not as high and as sharp as on the turf, but look, she's getting class ready. She's going back down to the nickel level. level. I think she's got a fair bit of speed herself. I'm hoping she's going to be forwardly paced as well. And Jamie Ness and Carla Lopez, look, they're a team that do incredibly well here.
That's maybe a little move, too, to get her eligible for nickel starters down the road. She's only 5, right? And looking at that, so she's definitely better on the turf. But her dirt numbers work against this field, against Open Company, Open 12-5. You go back to February. Little bit of Lily, a horse that's run well here in starters. So, yeah, she figures, is she as quick right out of the gate as a couple of these? Maybe not, but she's going to be around. I think her class just keeps her there.
I agree. 3-5-4-6 for me, 5-3-4-2 for you. As we move on to race number 2, claiming 12,500. Quite a distance race, mile and a half on the turf, and also the start of the early pick 4, for which you created a ticket today.
I did the little early pick 4. We're going to go goofy. You're spreading early, 4, 5, 6, and 10, a mile and a half, a distance we don't get on the turf a lot. We don't get many of these races, especially for the the 12-5 claimers. But there we go. We're going to single in race number 3 with the first-time starter. Number 2, Miss Chesapeake. 3 deep in the 4th with the 4, 5, and 6. And 4 deep again there in the 5th. 2, 5, 12, 13, a $24 ticket. Looks like a lot is hinging on the Brittany Russell firster in race number 3.
I can tell. This is, look, I had her on top, and then I ended up going with Canoodle, the experienced horse. And we'll talk about that in a second. Interesting race. But this one, mile and a half on the turf. We don't often have mile and a half turf races at this level in here. So, look, you went with a horse that I didn't even use underneath. We were actually discussing this race beforehand, before we went on there, just out of sheer interest. Minister Strike for trainer Mary Epley. Look, he won over a mile and 8 last time out. Deep closer. I guess that this added distance, he's probably going to at least be a bit more within reach than the 17 lengths, 20 lengths from the get-go that he had to make up.
Exactly, and they went quick early that last race, 46 and 1, 11 and change, so fast. This horse, though, is coming back. He's a 7-year-old. It looks like he's come back off of this little layoff in very good form. He might have to hedge up just a little bit, numbers-wise, if you're looking at him, but I think he works. He can cover the distance. Charlie Marquez is getting along with him well, timing the runs perfectly. I think Minister Strike's going to be tough right back here for Mary Epler.
I do wonder, is there going to be that kind of pace that he likes to run at? Because we're going a mile and a half. Yeah. I can expect most jockeys are going to be slightly hesitant at the beginning. Right?
Maybe, but I think he's going to be fine. You've seen in races in the past deeper on his page where he's okay. I mean, these races unfold in a really, really odd fashion sometimes, because I can see a horse like the 2-horse going out and opening up 5 or 10 lengths, and everybody have to set and really make that
and then stealing it from the front.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to hang around, but Minister Strike, he's an old pro. He's going to carry himself into contention, I think, by the time they hit the top of the stretch, and it's going to be a grind from there.
Yeah, I use the number 5 on top, King Bubble, the Irish bred. Look, this is the distance he won. He's been running over it in Europe, the mile and a half at Vichy. Did well over it, ran on softer ground going that kind of distance. That's quite grueling. That takes a certain type of horse to be able to do that. He, to me, is the stayer in here. I liked his F2 start to going a mile and an 1/8 at Laurel. Also a closer, but like I said, I feel like the closers might just come in and sit a little bit more handily. And trained by Claudio Gonzalez, who certainly will have him, in tip-top shape here. Absolutely, I do. I think he might get first or second run here on the 2, who I've got to figure is going to try to go out and steal this. I'm going to use Argentic a little bit as well. Coming off of a race down in Middleburg, right over the hurdles, a win. This horse, if I like Minister Strike, I've got to like Argentic. I go back to the race a few races back. This horse had run, might have been best in that race, was stymied from the top of the stretch to the wire, had run, plenty of bottom off the race down there in Virginia. I've got no problem. You've got a rider that's going to put this horse into the race a little sooner. Stamina not an issue for Argentic. He's your live price play, I think, in here. Look, I like it. That's a great price play there. I used the number 1 underneath Posterity. I was looking back at some of the, mile and the 8th race, 2 and 3 starts ago. Liked his sort of, later close. Had a bit of trouble 3 starts ago, and then did try to come with a rally. But actually, the more I looked at this race, the more I was slightly bit interested by King of Spades, the number 3, Kelly Breen, coming up. I mean, look, he stretched a mile and 3/8, 2 back at Monmouth, did well there. And when Kelly Breen brings horses over here, he does it very, very well. They are always alive. So I had to use this horse underneath. Yeah, no, well, man, no doubt. This horse has experience at the mile and a half distance, a couple seconds out of 3 tries. Mokeef, I was disappointed in his effort last time out. I thought he was going to get the right kind of setup. Never really fired, but anything remotely close to that mid-70 buyer that he's certainly capable of,
Yeah, it puts them into the mix here for us. Obviously, we'll time the ride perfectly as she always does. Great ride yesterday on that horse for Patrick Noosh. Again, very, very good ride.
Yeah, race number 3, fillies and mares, 3, 4, and 5-year-old maiden claiming 40 to 32,000, 6 furlongs the distance. Look, I was already showing my hand here. Kind of had the 1-2, was flicking them back and forth. I think initially at the number 2, the first-time starter on top. Look, I do know she's a half-sister to multiple stakes winner. Where she told me to go, he won on debut, of course, also trained by Brittany Russell. A lot of good things to say, but she is inexperienced, and Canoodle does have a little bit of experience. Let's look back at her debut race where, look, she didn't get away that well. We're just looking at, look, we have that inside gate, never ideal for first time start. You can see kind of slight hesitation there, and still had to make up a fair bit, but did manage to save some ground.
Yeah, almost looked like she might have brushed the gate. We might have missed that coming out, a little left-hand turn, and just after that, what does Forrest do? She gets this horse to settle, rides the inside. This is Hunter Joe at a big, big price, 66 to 1, I think 17 to 1. Followed up for your exacta, bombs away. I like the finish here, called this race, and down inside, and really levels off well through the final eighth of a mile. So interesting to see that you're looking to get the mare and the other sibling to race. All speed, speed, and more speed. This one showing the ability to kind of close in. So a sharper break. Well, this horse obviously has some natural speed in it. We'll be able to lay a little bit closer.
Yeah, look, like I said, I thought that were very tough to separate those two because I definitely felt like Canoodle had some excuse and also possibly learned something from that debut race. But yes, you landed on the number 2, Miss Chesapeake. We know how good Brittany is with her firsters, and she knows the family. Yeah,
4 winning siblings. I have to where she told me to go. Multiple stakes winner. We know all that. Here's what I found interesting. Was sold as $21,000 as a yearling. Comes back as a 2-year-old, goes for $3,000. Now in and protected for the maiden 40, the Maryland bred. We're going to get away with it. Works are good. So something between now and then looks like it's gone the right way. And I think Miss Chesapeake right back, aptly named here for Maryland Million Weekend, right? Miss Chesapeake.
Yeah, and it looks like she might just be showing something in the mornings, justifying her being at this maiden 40, protected level in here. Both of us also used the number 4, Rona, underneath. Look, you got to talk about her. This is her 21st start. She tries so hard. She'll get up for a price.
Yeah, I'm always rooting for Tim Vick, one of the smaller outfits, but, works very hard. I think this one here, Lasix went on a few races back. We've seen some improvement. Back to the sprint. This horse wants to sprint. Tried a route a couple races back, not good. I think the race against Imperial Moon was good at Pimlico. I think she makes a rally into it.
Yeah, I have to use the number 8, Start with a Bang. This is only going to be her second start. First start as a 3-year-old. First start with the Lasix on. Ran into Out of Sorts. Now, we know Out of Sorts ended up being a stakes winner for trainer Brittany Russell. Start with a Bang. Look, perhaps she'll need a race, but a lot of sort of unknowns in here, and I wanted to include her.
Agreed. Definitely see Out of Sorts. You got to pay respect to that. It gets a fast track today. And looking at this, this horse is kin to 2 debut winners, so you kind of treat this long layoff as a first out almost. Yeah. So there's precocity in the breeding there with the 8.
Absolutely. Race at number 4, nickel level claimer, nominated 2 lifetime fillies and mares, 7 furlongs at the distance. I landed on the horse that we also have a spotlight on, the number 5 here, Fearless Lassie. She's actually one of my price plays today. I think she's going to show a bit more speed here. Look, she ran up on the back of the runners at this point here. I was watching her throughout the race and kind of got steady, didn't she?
Yeah, she got steady twice. She was real keen. It didn't get away, in the greatest of fashions. Was kind of dragging the younger rider up here and had a little trouble twice, and you can't really do that at this lower level. Looking at the field, Naomi, I think she's going to be forwardly placed. If she breaks good today, she's going to try to do what she did a couple races back, steal it on the front. But I like the effort late. After that early trouble, swings to the outside and does turn on willingly to the wire. So Fearless Lassie with a good break. Expect her to see her right on or near the lead.
Yeah, I agree with you there. And I also thought that you're highlighting a couple of, the steadies there. She got keen. She got a little bit ranked. She likes to run early. I think she just didn't get away too strongly. Let's hope today is going to be a better experience for her. But you used the number 4 on top, who I used underneath, Arima. First off the claim for trainer Anthony Ferrier, was claimed at Churchill Downs, claiming 10 level, now dropping down to the nickel. Look, you can see both ways. Once she gets class relief, because I do think if you're looking at sort of those claiming levels at Churchill Downs, they're very competitive. But on the flip side, he claimed her for 10 and straight off in for 5 is not that encouraging,
No,
right?
and the owner claimed 3 horses out of that same race. You know, crazy. Mending was one who was, I think, scratched. The other one, I can't remember the name. But anyhow, this looks like an all or nothing type. Take a shot. You put a line through the 40 buyer, her worst race is probably better than everybody else's race in here. So, yeah, I think Fearless Lassie's going to be the one to catch. If Arima's not within range at the maybe the 3/8, I'm not going to be happy. So she should be stalking and trying to moving by from there. But I do think it's one of these two. If you're looking for maybe a little deeper price, Bust Out Lady has some okay races on the go back. I think this horse could rally into it.
Yeah, she actually came off a hurdle try as well, coming back in here. Certainly an interesting runner in this spot. We'll take a quick commercial break, but stay with us. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Laurel Park. We're on race number 5, which means we kick off the Rainbow Pick 6 sequence today with quite the carryover, $18,000 to get you started. So not only do we have a huge Stronach 5 carryover starting in race 8, we have a pick 6 carryover that is not to be shied at. $18,000 in race number 5. Callie Francois created a ticket for us. Let's see how she plays the sequence here. She spreads in this first leg. 2, 12, and 13 do make a note. We're going to discuss this. The number 13 does draw in from the AE list for trainer Claudio Gonzalez. Race 6, she spreads using the 3, the 6, the 9, and the 10 over that 1 mile turf. And then in race 7, that's her single, James's Moonshine. Look, I have him on top. You have him on top. So much pace for him to run at in that race. It was an aggressive move last time. I actually looked home and hosed that day, so I think this is going to be his race. Let's hope that her single comes in, but I am all on board. Race 8, 1, 2, and 4 for that maiden special weight with the scratch of Outkissed. I get that she's spreading there. I did too. Race number 9, she also goes 4 deep there. 1, 2, 6, and 12. 5.5 furlong dash on the turf. And then race 10, hopefully we get to race 10 still alive. 4 and 7 in that option glamour starter allowance. 7 also my top selection here. Memphis Mafia dropping for Brittany Russell. $57.60. Late pick 5, I was about to say. Rainbow pick 6 with that $18,000 carryover. Kicking off in race number 5 because we have 10 live races coming your way. Let's talk about race number 5. Maiden claiming 10 to 8,000, 5.5 furlongs. The distance. Let's talk about the horse that just drew in for trainer Claudio Gonzalez. Little Miss Scarlet. You have to use her. You used her on top. She has, I think she will be a bit more forwardly placed. I think they're going to possibly be aggressive from that outside gate. But relatively speaking, to her last dirt try, she's dropping in class.
Yeah, her best figure's on an off track. That scares me a little bit, but I'm going to come back, give her one more shot here with Claudio. I do think there's enough questionable speed types in here. I think expect the sunrise, see that girl. They're going to be quick. They're going to be into the race early. 5.5, she keys up against a horse, Flava Stream, that came back and ran a big number. So I think she can stalk, get in position from her, from that outside post, hopefully be within a couple lengths mid-turn, and then kind of go on with it from there.
Yeah, I use expect the sunrise on top here. Forrest Boyce gets the ride for Tim Keith. We know there can be very dangerous to get her. Blinkers go on. Also drops back down from that maiden 25, but she's not been disgraced at that level. She's shown capable of sitting handily and trying to kind of make a move into it. I think that for her, well, aside from the fact that now 13 comes in, which definitely makes it a lot tougher, I thought this was an easier field for her to hopefully best.
Yeah, she falls in, it looks like the right spot for her. I think she can go ahead and track the 3 just to her outside. The 3 might be a little bit quicker early. Forrest not one to really send, so she'll probably be a little bit patient, sit just off of that one, I think, and try to make a move into it, and then hold off, I think, the closers, Candy Corner, the 12, and the 13, Little Miss Scarlet.
Yeah, I had a look at the number 7 as well underneath, and the number 3, just to try throw in a couple of prize plays. Gary Caparano, see that girl. Look, she's shown a little bit of speed, but hasn't been able to see out the distance. So, of course, taking a bit of shot. But I like the fact that John Geraldo is taking a nice 5 pounds off. That could definitely help her out a little bit here. That is the number 3. And then the number 7, a first-time starter. Do like to use the first as well at the maiden 10 level. Race number 6 is the start of our late pick 5 with that 1 mile turn race is kicking off the sequence. I created a ticket, and I tried to find a single. Ended up not using a single, so kind of going spready and tight in comparison. 3, 6, and 7 here to open up the sequence for me, with the 6 being my top selection. Johnny Sack for Jeremiah Engelhardt, so was very sharp with his runners down here. And then race 7, I used the 2 and the 7, including James's Moonshine. So Cali single, I'm hoping he comes in too, because it definitely helps me out as well. Race number 8, I go 3 deep using the 1, the 2, and the 7. That's that maiden special weight. The scratch of the number 5 Outkiss changes the whole race. I use Graham Motion's first time dirt runner here. He has run once on the turf before. I used back in the wood for trainer Jose Corrales. We ran up in New York in a couple of tougher races as well. And then the number 7 Oski Wow Wow, first time starter for Jerry O'Dwyer. Race 9, I used the 1 and the 2. I'm hoping that race is going to be formful. Tough 2 other than the number 1 Charm, the number 2 Noble Commander. I do have some interest in the number 6 as well, Rohrbacher, sharp turn back for you, McMahon, if you do want to throw another horse in that race. But I'm hoping that the 1, 2 are going to be the class horses as they seem to be on paper. Final leg, I used the 2, the 3, and the 7. 6 furlongs the distance there. The 7 Memphis Mafia, my top selection. Look, longer layoff, but Brittany Russell gets them ready. Work tab looks good and drops back down from Allowance Company that she's held in her last couple of starts. Race number 6 is the start of that late pick 5 here for the Maryland Jockey Club. Race number 6, Mile on the Turf. That is that restricted Maryland bred or Maryland sired allowance here. And look, we use similar horses, different order. You landed on the number 3, Broker's Reward for trainer Michael Trombetta. Look, very, very fast early. And dug in so gamely that he nearly held up. Look, only 4th by 3/4 lengths. That was just a blanket finish there.
This is the last time I'm going to go with Broker's Reward. He's broken a lot of hearts, a lot of pocketbooks. Jeez. And I kept looking at this race, and I'm thinking, maybe finally he'll fall into the right spot. I don't know if he really wants the lead, needs the lead. I think a little bit of a target's going to be good. I think he's going to get that with the horse just to his inside.
I think
Macy's Boy. And that might be the key. And even if another horse comes up and entertains him, I think that'll be good. Sit kind of that trip just in behind horses with cover. He's not going to be far back. I'll give him one final shot here, shortening up a 16th of a mile today.
Yeah, I use the number 6, Johnny Sack on top. Jeremiah Engelhardt trains second time on the turf for this runner. Look, had a terrible start, was kind of completely out of the race. I like the fact that he still made up ground on a yielding turf course at Saratoga. Is going to get a firm turf here. And look, they've been wanting to get this runner on the turf. 2 off the turf events did so very well, actually, at the open company allowance levels. And I was supposed to say Jerry O'Dwyer, Jeremiah Engelhardt does do well with his runners when he sends them down here, finds the right spot, especially where this horse is actually trying to break his maiden as well. So I used him on top, but both of us used the number 7 Full Dinner Jack. I do believe we have a video of his last race, which was a while ago, nearly half a year ago was the last time that we saw Full Dinner Jack. But he did save ground on the rail, and I like the way he rallied late.
Isn't that crazy? That long ago, man. It doesn't seem that long ago, but it is. But yeah, Full Dinner Jacket turf debut I thought was pretty good. There's Ben and Joke. He's a Broker's Reward. Fort Moultrie's gone on to run okay. Tries to work outside, get a little bit of room through the final 1/8 of a mile, and just doesn't really find it. He's trying to run. Has to steady there late. So he had some interest. I think he's a user. I think he'll be a square price off the break. But going back to Johnny Sack, and you're talking about the race in New York, yeah, those horses that came out of there. The horses that finished in front of them, buyers of 92, 89, 81, 87 next time out. Much better than anybody in here. So he certainly kept the right company, gets a firm turf course today. Prince Pear, I'm just interested, the stretch out back to a mile.
Yep.
He's run well. He's coming back quick. Can he sustain and carry it against this group? I'm not so sure. I will use him underneath a little bit in exactas and tries because he's in good form.
He's in terrific form, but it is again a quick turnaround. Had a quick turnaround the other sprint race as well. We saw him on the 8th of October, the 15th of October, of course the 22nd of October today. So has been quite heavily campaigned. Now stretching out. Look, he's a very, very tough, tenacious runner. I use him underneath, but I do wonder if perhaps he might not fire as strongly today. I guess it'll be a wait and see approach a little bit for me as well. Race number 7, claiming 16 level. Numbers 2 lifetime, 6 furlongs the distance, and look, both of us landed on the number 2, James's Moonshine, Callie's single in the Rainbow Pick 6, and look, there's seemingly so much pace for him to run at. Let's look at his last race where he was quite far out of it. I was quite taken. I like this aggressive move on the home term, and then he takes over and he looks like he's home and host, but unfortunately for him, that wasn't the case.
Looks like he is home, but the winner there, that's Jumbo for Damon, had to wait a little bit. So Source got the jump on Jambo. Looks like he's going to be home free. Opens up and goes clear, actually, in mid-stretch. But still goes on pretty well to the wire, shortening up a furlong today. This owner-trainer combination, second off the claim, albeit Mountaineer, Charleston, some Penn runners. They've been deadly second off the claim, almost 50%. Might be 50%, I think. Yeah, 7 for 14, 12 for 14 in the money. Questionable speed. Lots of it in here. Yeah, he stalks and should pounce and hold sway.
Yeah, that was my reasoning. I feel like there's a couple in here that definitely want to try and make their move for Don't Dare Me. He's got a lot of early speed. Dreaming of Carrots is fast. The number 7, American Piper, he likes a good battle on the front as well. So I just wonder if they're going to cancel each other. I did use the number 7, American Piper, underneath because he does get that much needed cut back, and this is second off the claim for Kieran McGee. And he did work very, very hard in that race before folding against James's Moonshine, who we just watched a video of. But you used the number 8, 4 on 7. First time against winners for this 3-year-old gelding by Golden Lad. Took them gate to wire in his last occasion. I don't think he's going to be able to do that here, I'm afraid.
No, you liked this horse last time. This was the winner for you. I remember that 4 on 7. I just think the improvement and some horses just to his inside with speed, I think he can drop in a little bit. I don't think he needs the lead. Just the way that he's getting better each start kind of piqued my interest there. I think he can rally into it, along with the 5 stay in, not protected off the break. I'm a little surprised with that Indisputed Notion. I'm kind of looking for this race to fall apart. I would think maybe at the quarter pole. We'll see. You see this, you see 3 or 4 speed types, and then somebody goes clear and takes them wire to wire. But
well, that's my worry, because I've used your same line of reasoning in the past. That you have a lot of speed, so you're like, okay, these all are going to cancel each other out, and then you see one being faster and the other kind of kicking clear and actually holding on quite nicely. So I'm wondering that might just be American Piper, the number 7. So I use him underneath as well. Race number 8, that maiden special weight start also of the Stronach 5. Let's have a look at the sequence and the carryover. $76,823. That is quite the carryover. It's going to gather a lot of interest from across the country. You kick things off race number 8. Where do we go then, Keith?
Absolutely. Going to go to Santa Anita Gulfstream, back here to the lovely Laurel Park for the 9th, wrapping things up at Golden Gate, race number 3. So, yeah, if you haven't really gotten into this bet yet, you know, it's something you've kind of avoided, well, you better jump right in today. We've talked about it. It's going to be a monster pool when it's all said and done. This bet pays. It pays every week handsomely. So jump in. Don't be scared. Maybe grab a friend, because you're going to have to invest a little bit in this ticket. But the key scratch in race 8, though, for us starting things, really opens up a can of worms.
Outkiss could have been a single on the majority of tickets in here. That 2-year-old will not be lining up in race number 8. So this is this really opens up the entire sequence. And Tim has a ticket for us. Here he goes 3 deep in here, using the 1, the 2, and the 4. The 1, Figlio del Rey, will be first time on the dirt for Graham Motion. Very much bred to enjoy, though. Back in the woods, Jose Corrales. Look, this horse ran against better, and then he throws in number 4, Super Royal Moon, for trainer Michael Trombetta as well. And then in leg B, race number 3 at Santa Anita Park, he uses the 6 and the 7 in there, which is Devil Beamy and Strauss's place. That made in the 56 furlongs the distance. And then in race 9 at Gulfstream Park, he uses the 3, the 6, and the 7. I looked at that race myself as well. I do have a fair bit of time for Utrecht, the number 6 in that spot. A bit of a hunch play as well. He's an actor on a television series I used to watch, The Last Kingdom. We like our hunch plays, don't we? And then back for us again here, race number 9, 1, 2, 6, and then Golden Gate Fields. Look, that's never an easy one to handicap. He goes with the 3 and the 4 in there. I like Baby Frankie, the number 3 myself, but also landed on the number 7 on the outside, Anita New Mercedes. Great name. Definitely not an easy sequence to play. $108 worth the investment because of that high carryover and the expected additional money coming into that pool. Let's talk about race number 8, maiden special weight, 2-year-olds. Look, you said it before, Keith. This race is now wide open with the scratch of Outkiss.
Absolutely. So you're going to see these odds on the morning line kind of go all over the place. Horses are going to drop considerably. Back in the woods, proven speed in those races in New York. First time for Corrales is going to be down off of that 9-2 line. I'm not saying the horse is going to be favored, because you've got a couple horses in there. You know, firsters that could take place. So you've got to tab the toe, but a lot of money's going to be on the 2. going to use that one as the proven speed. But I'm going to key around the 1. You do as well. I thought I might have found something, that was going to be a good little nugget.
I had Outkissed on top before, so by default, went to the number 1.
Figlio de Rey, here's your stat of the day. Graham Motion last 3 years, small sample, very small sample, but 4 for 9, 44%, 7 for 9 in the money. 2-year-old maidens, turf to dirt with an ROI of 272. Now, one of those might have been an off-the-turf event that he got it done, but still, that's good. You saw the family, right? I'm a Chatterbox. She was pretty good. What'd she make? $2.3 million. Multiple grade 1 stakes winner. The family is there. The dirt breeding is there. I think you're going to see a major form reversal, even with blinkers on here with the 1.
Yeah, Galileo, one of the best sires in the globe. Figlio del Rey, I'm kind of handling this 2-year-old a little bit as a first timer on the main track. Look, don't like that inside draw, never really do, but as you had it, I'm a Chatterbox. CCA's Oaks victors, Cotillion, Spinster victors, blinkers go on. I was running against tough types, maiden special weight in New York. Look, a lot to like, and the Galileos are incredibly tough. We do tend to see them more on the turf, but they've proven that they can run on the main track as well. They show a lot of heart, so I did use him on top. But back in the woods, it was very close for me with those 2 for that top position, because like you said, Jose Corrales, first time in his barn. This is a horse that has been capable of showing a fair bit of early speed, dueled very hard to try and get second, but faded slightly late in that last outing at Belmont. That was over 6.5. I think Back in the Woods is found a good group here.
Exactly. I mean, stumbled last time, out time before that, a little trouble at the gate, but not giving up much ground. Because of that adversity, you think the horse is just going to kind of just give in. No, this horse fights on. So with a clean break, I would expect this horse right up near the lead. Interesting with the 1, though. I like how this horse, you don't see the motion horse usually show a ton of speed. Did show a little bit of gas. And granted, it was on a turf.
And it didn't go that fast either.
They didn't go that fast, but just a little bit of early interest. Yes. I like that. The blinkers go on, and I certainly like the breeding. Let's look at the 7. You've got Oski Wow Wow in the mix there, a 2-year-old by Dialed In. This is a key for Jeremiah O'Dwyer. Good stat for him. The last couple years with the 2-year-old maiden special weight firsters, he's 21%. Ooh. I take that into consideration a lot. The family, there's winners there. I think there's might be a first-time starter winner. I think this horse is going to be okay.
Yeah, no, I looked at the dam. She was on race claiming level family, not one on debut, but indeed winners in the family. Look, it wasn't the pedigree that attracted me to this horse. It was indeed the work tab, the fact that Jerry O'Dwyer put him in at this level. And he's had some really sharp 2-year-olds as of late, so I didn't want to sit on him either. And then both of us used the number 6 underneath Caminero for trainer Michael Trombetta. Dam won on debut as a 2-year-old, 5 siblings, 1 on debut, and 2 placed second on debut. So that precocity is there.
Yeah, definitely there's speed in that family. The 4 might jump back up a little, run a little better too. It was 3 wide angled, 5 wide, just not quite firing. Certainly could improve. Race 8 to get you started for your Stronach 5. Good luck.
Race number 9. Let's continue. We still got 2 more races to talk about here. A 2 other than optional claimer event, 5.5 furlongs on the turf here. Look, I think it's going to be formful. I used the 1 and the 2, gave the slight edge to the number 1, Charmed. We do have a video for him as well. Did get a perfect position in his last race at Monmouth Park. Kind of, spying the speed, allowing them to move forward, and then sort of turned it up there late. I thought it was visually impressive. The figure backed it up. And look, this horse was trained by Joseph O'Brien before in Europe. They clearly thought he would do better overseas. Got sent to Phil Antonacci. Now, Phil, this is his first runner at Laurel Park, young trainer. He was on my Godolphin Flying Star program with me for 2 years, so we traveled the world together. So, look, I want him to win. This is terrific, and I'm glad he's getting these type of horses to train here stateside as well. And I think this is a 3-year-old who's on the up.
What was the inside scoop? You've got anything for us? You've got all the connections. Come on, man.
My inside scoop is that, look, Joseph O'Brien, they thought he was going to do better here. Send him to Phil. I know Phil's family has had some horses with the O'Briens and that they have good connections with them. And I think that kind of backs up what this horse has shown thus far stateside. Yeah,
that was a big improvement. First time Lasix as well. Jump up almost 10 points. 10 points in the buyers. High Limit Room came back to gallop next out. This was a pretty good A other than. Now trying to take the step into the 2 other than. But it looks like a lineup race for me if they come away cleanly. The speed of the speed is Noble Commander. He's facing real heavy heads. Yet to win on the turf today might be the days he was able to control things up front. But It looks like these, if you can trim things down, it looks like these two. What's your price play to maybe come up?
I trimmed it down to the 1 and 2 in my late pick 5, but I like to throw in the number 6 Rohrbacher for trainer Hugh McMahon. Sharp cut back to this 5.5 distance, but has run well over sprinting distances in the past. And I do kind of like this move. Hugh McMahon does these kind of moves, and it does tend to pay off. I think he's going to be around late. I definitely think this is a horse to use for your kind of show placings underneath.
Yeah, he's in very, very good form. How far are they going to get away from him early? And you know, tricky. Can he bring that punch? But certainly his figures warrant consideration. Yeah, Papal Law, old buddy of mine. You know, the 8-year-old, maybe a little bit step slower than what he's been. You know, maybe last year. But I think if things get really heated and contested up front, he's a user. Even Warstro, a horse that's run well over this Laurel turf course.
Yeah, let's finish things off strongly here with the optional claim and start allows. Race number 10, 6 furlong the distance. And Keith, you landed on the number 3. Hope has a name for you, McMahon. Same trainer we were just discussing. Your blinkers go on. And if you look at some of the, main track events of her, like she has numbers on the go back that work her. And in comparison, dropping back down to this level as well, that optional claimer level at Delaware after breaking her maiden, those were really solid performances.
That's the key for me. I see Sonata wicked hot. She's within, a length of those kind of horses. Don't know what was going on with those turf efforts. When you try them back to the dirt, blinkers go on. I think a reversal, anything close to the form she had on this prior dirt sprint, she's going to be okay.
Yeah, I used the number 7 on top, Memphis Mafia. Longer break for trainer Brittany Russell, 140 days. Drops back down from the allowance company that she's been keeping. Look, she seems to be doing great in the mornings, and I think that's an indicator of a horse that's fit and ready to run after a couple of months break.
Yeah, and the 2. I think I've got to use the 2 as well, Vanquisher. I love the way this horse finished up in debut. Next race, a little trouble, then a break. Getting back to what this horse wants to do, I think this horse is going to sprint, finish up, and really fire home. I'm hoping there's enough pace to set things up. But Vanquisher, good moves here, turf to dirt, second off of this kind of break for Lynch.
Yeah, 10 races coming your way today, and of course 12 races tomorrow as we move on to lightning round. Like, if you haven't caught on just yet, I'm going to tell you again to look at this Stronach 5 sequence. Nearly $77,000 that will already be in the pot and growing. But look, the Stronach 5 pool already is on over $90,000 just now, with hours still to go until we kick things off here in race number 8. Look, not an easy handicapping sequence, but that's why it pays so well. Now tonight, Sip and Win, the Maryland Horse Foundation. Look, live auction cocktail party tonight at Fasig-Tipton, the Maryland State Fairgrounds, in aid of the Maryland Horse Foundation, chartered by the Maryland Horse Breeders Association in 1988 to allow for educational purposes and charitable needs of the Maryland horses, the Maryland breds, and really promoting them there. So if you do get a chance, do come over or bid on the silent auction online that has gone live as well. So maybe you want to go have a look.
I'll have to go check it out online or go grab a sip. I'm not shy. Yeah, that'll be good.
Let's have a look at some of the fields coming up tomorrow. We'll kick things off with the 2-year-olds in the Maryland Million Nursery. 6 furlong the distance. Look, the first horse that I'm keying around here, there's 14 juveniles slated to take the stage here, is the number 10, Mr. Mox. Sharp cut back to 6 furlong distance here, but this is a horse that can run. Defining rod, we know how well those juveniles have done. The barn is very high on him. And look, in his first 2 outings over 5 furlongs showed that kind of sprinting distance is right up his street.
Yeah, he's got that speed and outside draw. If he comes away cleanly, get into the race early, get into good position, and he looks like he's going to kind of grind it out. He'll stay around. He'll stay the trip, given a good break. Yeah, there's lots of ways to go. I struggled mightily with the Lassie line and the nursery line. So my odds, I'm hoping I'm in range, but they were very tough race. You get a horse like this, Jeff Runco, Coastal Mission, had no idea. It was 20 cents to the dollar. Granted, it was a West Virginia bred race. This horse out full to Louisville and absolutely galloped that night at Charlestown on the 25th of September. Buffalo, a locomotive, had an excuse at Timonium. Synergy Star, you done nothing really wrong.
Great form as well, yeah. Who would you go with then here? I don't have you for the morning show tomorrow, so I want to hear
you're not
now.
going to get a pick out of me today. I'm going to have to still dig a little bit deeper. This is a very tough race. Vance Scholars, I like the way that horse won the other day, coming back quickly. But I will be searching for something that's going to pay at least $14, $18. I'm hoping, yeah. Got to
Okay.
go. And look at your line. You've got a 9-2 favorite. I don't think anybody in this race should be lower than probably 4,
No,
9-2.
no,
Yep.
I agree with you there. The other 2-year-old event is that for the ladies. That's the Maryland Million Lassie race number 3. I actually have a bit of a price in here who I like. The number 2, Luna Bell for trainer Hamilton Smith. Got the chance to chat with him about what actually happened before her last race. She's a strong filly. Strong work in the morning, tough to hold, and Horatio went away from the pony, and she took him all the way to the home turn.
Yes.
Now, she was, of course, checked by the veterinarians. They said she was absolutely fine, and she ran, but I do think she might have left that race a little bit on the track before that, and I still think that she made up a lot of ground to then finish third as well, like, snatch a couple of placings behind Sparkle Sprinkle, Sweet Gracie. I think Luna Bell is going to come back with a big run here today.
We've seen Hammy do this in the past, in years leading up Maryland Million. The average effort, and then they turn it around. It's very impressive at Colonial. So I expect a much better effort than what she showed. And you're right, that was a good pickup. She was unruly. You see the comment, ran off. I think a better try is in store. There is some speed to set things up for a powerful run.
Yeah, she had a bit of fun there before the race. I'm hoping this time around she's going to show it during the race there. Final point on our lightning round is a trip note here on the filly that ran yesterday. That was her debut race, the number 5 Estate. Look, multiple grade 1 placed runner. I thought she was going to do very well for trainer Michael Trombetta, but just had a little bit of trouble, didn't she?
Yeah, she did. She's got a good trip here all the way up until the quarter pole. She's able to kind of save ground. Now keeps going under some urging. Sometimes horses want to flatten a little bit. She flattens in the end, but she makes a good run. She shifts outside.
Yep.
I think, winner right here, right? But just stays on that left lead. A little bit green, inexperienced. Unfortunately, Jock could not get this horse over to the correct lead and just kind of hangs late.
And kind of
A
tires
little
on
experience
that
here.
left
Yeah, a little experience under the belt now. Might be able to move up and do a little bit better next time, because certainly bred to be a good one.
Yeah, let's make a note of her for next time out. That is a 2-year-old trained by Michael Trombetta in the shape of Estate. That will wrap up the handicapping segment for us this morning. I'll be back in the afternoon with Tim Tulloch and Callie Francois joining me as well, as we are gearing up for a big Stronach 5 day and a big Maryland Million day tomorrow. If you're not joining us today, do make sure to come out tomorrow. Great day, one of the highlight days on this Maryland circuit.
Absolutely. Big things happening this weekend, so make an effort to be here.